Alright, welcome everyone to Roulette Rivals 14. This is a winner's bracket round 2 match between MuIIIKeTeP, pronounced Musketeer, and Apricope. The first map up today is Whittleton Creek, chosen by Musketeer. Apricope does have a 1-0 record here on Whittleton Creek. So yeah, let's get into the match. We do have the spin arriving in 3 minutes. I spoke to both players earlier today to find out multiple things. Favorite color of the sky, favorite candy, and more importantly, what their thought process was heading into the match with each map. Musketeer, when choosing Whittleton Creek, has chosen this map as it is sunny and bright, which is a very good reason to choose a map. It's a very good map in itself. Apricope, when asked about how he feels about this map, he said he's not really sure how good Musketeer is at Whittleton Creek, but he feels like he's going to be well practiced on it. And I was sitting here watching Musketeer stream a little bit before the match to see what was happening, and it does look like Musketeer has come into this match very well practiced. Now, Musketeer is a rookie, so it will be interesting to see how he fares against Apricope here today. And yeah, very exciting matchup coming up. But first, for those of you who do not know what Roulette Rivals is a Hitman tournament between two players in real time, where they race each other to complete a Hitman roulette spin. Now, a Hitman roulette spin provides players with a kill condition and a kill disguise for one of the targets on the map. Yeah, I've got to add that command in. It completely slipped my mind earlier this week. I've been busy at work. But yeah. So yes. Now this is a winner's bracket round 2 match, as I have said once, I think. And I am very excited to see this match happen. Now, just about 30 seconds left. I need to go ahead and put up a prediction. Yeah.
Prepare yourself. Duel starts in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6.
Alright, the spin is coming in, and we will have Janus Assault Rifle as the construction worker without target pacification, and Nolan Cassidy with the scissors as the barbecue owner. Now this is a very interesting spin. You do have the barbecue owner disguise involved, so you will need to get him at a reasonable location, as he does park himself usually permanently in the middle of a crowded area. Now, the construction worker is also an interesting disguise, as you can choose to start as it, as we do see Apricope looking like he might be starting as construction worker. Now, Musketeer has loaded in as the server, and it looks like he has brought an emetic gas grenade for the... and there's a replan. Apricope now loading in for the first time today. And still loading. And now Musketeer loading in as well. And Apricope did choose to start as the construction worker. So now the construction worker disguise start does automatically give you one of the disguises that you will need, whereas the server start that Musketeer is using today does require you to use a bit of a maneuveration of NPCs to get the disguise that you need. And we do see Apricope jumping over the back fence, picking up a baseball and a propane tank, going to knock out the guys on the deck, but it was spotted. The thrown propane flask was spotted by the other guy on the deck, and that will be a restart here for Apricope. Now, Musketeer does have the barbecue owner sedated using the bubblegum, and he gets the disguise off successfully. Now, this does put Musketeer in a bit of a lead as a rookie against Apricope, as he is now traversing through the backyard that is guarded by Nolan Cassidy's bodyguards. Now, I can't recall where the scissors are, but I want to say they're in Helen West's house, which it does look like Musketeer is heading there now. And this time, Apricope does get the double knockout off successfully and heads into the basement of that house to pick up a smuggled briefcase. Now, I did not manage to see what he brought into the map, but it is the assault rifle, which he did bring a fully auto. Bit of an interesting choice, as most players would want to go for a semi-automatic to risk a bullet distraction after shooting your target. But a body is found on Apricope's side, and it is not a tranked body, so that will be another restart from Apricope here. Musketeer now in the barbecue owner's disguise, making his way towards Nolan Cassidy's path. No, it does seem to be in the right timing for the backyard peekaboo. He will need to hop over that fence though. But instead he has his emetic grenade out, potentially going to use it on Nolan Cassidy. Now, he does get spotted while throwing that, so that will be a restart here for Musketeer as well. Now, I'm not sure if he is aware of this, but I believe throwing the emetic device there is going to result in Nolan not going where he thinks he will go, unless he also manages to get Nolan's bodyguard 6. So if he chooses to use the same strategy this go around, it will be interesting to see how he deals with that. Meanwhile, Apricope back in as the construction worker makes his way into Janus's house and throws the briefcase at the head of the security guard just standing there near the muffin, and makes his way down into the basement to get the first clue and the cameras taken care of. Here. Now, with Janus being no target pacification, you'd almost want to definitely take care of Janus first, as you will need to get him live, and this way you can assure that he's at a good cycle, which he does do. He gets Janus down with the assault rifle in the correct disguise without pacifying him as well, and drags his body just to make sure it doesn't get found. Now Musketeer is going for the barbecue owner disguise grab as well, but does rip while doing that. And yet another body is found on Apricope's side, causing a restart, potentially. Now that is an interesting fact here. Apparently Musketeer isn't too familiar with the barbecue owner's disguise. Doesn't seem to be showing it, as he has managed to pull it off successfully here a couple of times, which definitely means good improvisation from the rookie here. Apricope, on the other hand, keeps knocking out these same guards with the same objects and doing it successfully, but the bodies keep getting found, so you gotta wonder if he is going to move the bodies this time to prevent that from happening a third time. And he does do that. Unfortunately, we do see another Musketeer restart in the process. And this is still a very even matchup, which is definitely impressive that a rookie and Musketeer is able to handle the pressure of being in an actual roulette match for the first time very well. I do see Apricope pick up the weapon here and make his way back into Janus's backyard, where he will most likely follow the same path to KO the guard in the kitchen, and then make his way to the basement. But another restart, as somehow the guard that the briefcase was thrown at sees the briefcase through the eyes of the back of his head, apparently. Definitely an interesting rip there from Apricope. We do see Musketeer still trying to get the barbecue owner's disguise, but that NPC is going to cause a bit of a problem for Musketeer if she sees him fall, which she does. Now, he does get it off that time, and is green gun, so yeah, now he does have the correct disguise again, and Apricope does have the double knockout successfully done again. And yeah, this has been a very interesting match so far. Now we are approaching the 10-minute mark into the spin, with it being 21 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the timer, which means at this point it is a 30-second photo finish window. However, if we it does look like the spin is going to continue into the 45-second photo finish window, starting at 20 minutes remaining. Musketeer makes his way out of a house with the barbecue owner's disguise and over another fence. I think he is going to make his way towards Nolan Cassidy again and reattempt the emetic gas grenade throw, which he was spotted doing last time. Now, the safe thing to do here for Musketeer is to hide in the bush when he throws this, that way to prevent sight, which he does do, and he does get both Nolan and his bodyguard sick, it looks like, as we see Apricope also get the kill on Janus, but a restart there, not entirely sure what went wrong. But yeah, now Musketeer with a 2-minute 49-second lead in game time on Apricope. Wrong disguise. Dang. No, that was a risky briefcase throw there for Musketeer, as he did not lock on to James Batty's head and manages to punch him in the face without losing green guns. Very neat trick there from Musketeer. Now we do see Apricope redragging the bodies, working on this same method of entry into Janus' house, and it has been working for him the few times he's tried it. Just minor mishaps like the wrong disguise have caused him to unfortunately restart. Now Musketeer does seem to be a bit lost looking for the clue in the gardens. He is closer than he realizes, but there, he found it. Let's go. As we see Apricope whack the other guy with the briefcase. Now, he does change disguises to make an easy entry point into the basement, but he will need to remember to change back. And he also grabs the first clue while he's in the basement. Now we do see Musketeer working on an interesting choice of a construction worker there. Does have the body fall into the bushes, so he shouldn't be found later on. But he still has Nolan up, so I do wonder what is going through his mind at the moment while waiting for Nolan to get in an ideal spot to kill him. Now, Nolan will not puke forever, so he is definitely on a timer here, and it does look like he has left this timer, which means Musketeer will have to find a very different place of isolation for Nolan's field to go through. Apricope, on the other hand, has now eliminated Janus in the right disguise and takes on a Janus security disguise to make his way out of Janus's house and towards the barbecue owner. Disguise suspectively, but also appears to be working his way towards Nolan, so you do have to wonder if he is planning to get Nolan isolated before he grabs the disguise. Now, this will cause a bit of a walk for Apricope, but he does pass Nolan and heads towards the barbecue owner's disguise, so he will not have to worry about that walk.
Okay.
Musketeer is still in the barbecue owner's disguise looking for a decent place to isolate Nolan. Not sure if he knows what to do here. Nolan has passed the ideal location for the backyard peekaboo. Now that is a very interesting barbecue owner's disguise grab from Apricope. Looked like he used a fire extinguisher to knock out the barbecue owner long enough without being seen to grab the disguise with green guns. I'm not sure I have ever seen that done in the match before, so very cool disguise grab there from Apricope.
What was that? Was that on purpose?
As he does throw a baseball at the back of James Batty's head to make his way towards the third clue. Does already have two, which is interesting. I'm guessing he also grabbed the newspaper from James Batty, and he gets the third clue as well, which leaves Apricope only with the Nolan Cassidy kill remaining. We do see Musketeer here waiting on Nolan to do something, anything to isolate himself for long enough so that he can throw a pair of scissors at the back of his head.
We now know Janus is meeting with the Constant at an event related to the Ark Society.
Garage isolation at this point would be my best guess as well, with it being 7 minutes 52 seconds into the run. It is very difficult to get him anywhere else at this point.
I know, it's weird. Why doesn't he go grab a new canister?
Now, Apricope does have Nolan heading towards somewhere. Not sure what Apricope's plan here is. You have to wonder if he's thinking backyard peekaboo maybe, or I'm not sure if he has an emetic that he could use on Nolan as well here. But it'll be interesting to see what he does. And it does look like Musketeer is going to go for the garage isolation for Nolan Cassidy. He gets the kill. Will have to drag his body, but with an open garage door, that is a very risky body drag there. But he gets it off. GG's on that kill. He is able to find a window of time just long enough so that he can hide Nolan's dead body without anyone seeing it. And on the other side of the screen, Apricope finally has Nolan Cassidy sick, so he's very close here to finishing as long as nothing goes wrong in these next few minutes. Musketeer, on the other hand, has two of the clues needed down, as well as the Nolan kill. Just needs the Janus kill and the clue from Janus's basement, but Apricope does get the scissors kill on Nolan Cassidy done, and just needs to make his way to the exit. And there it is. We do see the finish here with a time of 16 minutes and 32 seconds. So that will be a GG's 2-0 score here for
0 to
Apricope.
2.
Very good gameplay by both players here on Whittleson Creek. Both seem to know the map pretty well. There were a few things that went wrong, but that can happen to anyone. Now the next map up is Chongqing. And I also spoke to both players earlier about this map as well. Now, Apricope chose Chong because he feels pretty confident on it. And interestingly enough, Apricope banned Paris because he's not very good at it. With it also being one of the first maps that most people learn, very good strategy under consideration here by Apricope. Now, Musketeer, on the other hand, when asked about how he feels regarding his opponent's map, he thinks Chongqing is disgusting because he doesn't like rain. Now, that is true. As a hitman, you really do not want a rainy scene. It makes it very difficult to find your footing. And, maybe some people slip more often on rainy floors than on banana peels. So, you definitely don't want to see rain if you're a hitman here. And we do have the spin arriving in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So, let me get a prediction up and running. And we'll give y'all a minute this time to predict, with the spin arriving just above 1 minute. Now, statistics-wise, Apricope has been here 6 times, won 4, and lost 2. Now, Musketeer being a rookie and this being his first match, he has never been here before. The map record here is 2 minutes and 51 seconds by Fanium, which was achieved in the Roulette Rivals World Championship of 2023. And it does appear as we have had a delay here, and there will be a delay on the map spin by. So yeah. And the spin will officially arrive at 23 past the hour. Now, I also spoke to Musketeer about, or I spoke to Apricope about how his opponent has not had a match yet in this tournament, whereas Apricope has. He does think this provides him a bit of an advantage here as of having a match under his belt. But with his opponent being a rookie, he is looking to take things a little bit slower today. Not sure if that is a good or bad strategy here from Apricope, but it has worked out for him so far, with him receiving the 2 points from Whittleson Creek. Now with 1 minute and about 40 seconds until the spin arrives, what type of Chongqing spin would you guys, the viewers, like to see here? Let's see if we can guess it. Did see Musketeer doing a bit of chunking practice earlier with the researcher and the Imogen bodyguard disguise being used in their practice spin. So I'm thinking we might see the researcher here. I feel like hobby knife could be an interesting spin condition as well. Spin will be arriving in 15 seconds.
Agent, get ready.
Never mind.
What is that? That's not normal.
Now this time the spin should be arriving in 30 seconds, hopefully.
Too much of a risk. Money like that will really change, huh?
Yeah.
What's that noise?
We do see a bit of practice here before the spin arrives. And something else that's interesting to note, we also see
Agent, get ready.
a blue egg
Duel
here in
starts
Apricope's
in 10
layout.
seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
And the spin is in. We have Hush,
1.
Silent Sniper Rifle as the board member, and Imogen Royce SMG as the researcher. Now, with the board member and the spin, you do have the dumpling cook start that does become a possibility. You've also got the block guard start that you could potentially use. And you will also have to bring in a sniper rifle, as there's not a silenced one on the map, I do not think. Making for a very interesting spin here. Froat does make a very good point. Imogen's guard has a silenced SMG, so you don't necessarily have to bring one in here, but we do see both players preparing to bring one in on their own. And Apricope has gone with the dumpling cook start.
Find your inner zen. Close your eyes.
Uses a throwing distraction to get the board member into the room. He will wait until the lady passes, or else she will see the board member's body. That definitely shows your map knowledge of chunking here by Apricope. And Musketeer goes for the same disguise grab, but he does not know to wait, and the lady spots the disguise change, forcing a restart here. Apricope shoots his way into a room. Looks like he's in Hush's area of the map, heading downwards, I want to say. I am not the most knowledgeable of map locations here on chunking, but yes.
Contact! Fire!
Now that was interesting from Apricope. Shot the back of the steps multiple times with an SMG, supposedly to get the guards to run in, but they did see him do that after he ran out. So that will be a forced restart here from Apricope as well.
Find your inner self. Close your eyes and focus your mind on the
Musketeer, on the other hand, this time does get the board member disguise the right way, waiting for the lady to pass so that she doesn't find his body. Is now climbing up the pipe to the rooftops, where activating drone lure does become a possibility, as well as shooting the camera to make for an easy access up to Hush. Apricope, now also in the board member disguise, heads upstairs, uses the same panic shot, and this time does not get seen by the guards as they run down. Shoots another distraction to get the block guards on the roof to not see him. Unfortunately, it does not work. Musketeer now 1 minute 44 seconds into the spin. Now, the first good timing for Hush has seemed to pass, I'm pretty sure. But it does look like he might be looking for his hidden stash or smuggle, which he is, and he finds it. Now, it looks like Hush is actually locked down for Musketeer, and definitely an interesting strategy choice. Apricope, now making his way back up the apartments, grabs the scissors on the way. Now, that's a big whoosh for Musketeer, and unfortunately, it does become an action spotted, forcing another restart.
Negative. Keep those eyes peeled.
Apricope, working on the same entry upstairs, uses distraction shots buffered with pauses to prevent the block guards on the roof from seeing it, but does get spotted shooting the drone. Musketeer now back in the board member disguise after that last restart, heading down the stairs and back towards Hush. Apricope, also with another restart recently, does also get the board member disguise locked down and waits for the woman to pass, so he will keep green guns. Now, both players do seem to be having a bit of difficulty getting the spin started following the board member disguise grab. Apricope with the entry into Hush's area, and Musketeer finding a good way to isolate Hush, as it looks like. But aside from that, both players have done really well at keeping the pace here in the match. Now, Apricope working again on the panic shots and the bullet distractions to make his way into the rooftop successfully. Now, this time he chooses to use a sniper rifle for the drone lure activation, which prevents him from getting spotted by the guards as he did last time. And welcome in the viewers from Crazy for Daisy's stream of the other match. Who won? Yeah, how was it? I hope y'all enjoyed it. And we are here today casting Musketeer versus Apricope. Blink won 6-0. Oh, congratulations to Blink.
You got the bastard, Hush.
Now,
Get ready
Apricope
to
does have the Hush kill down, and drags Hush's body just to make sure he is safe behind the walls here. Musketeer did have another unfortunate restart, but has played really good for a rookie here. knocking out the board member, and he has learned to wait behind that wall, as we witnessed there. Now, Apricope is in the researcher disguise now. First time we've seen this disguise in the match at this point. And also used a cover aim, according to Pidgeotto, as he shoots his way into the area. But, oh no! A body is spotted by the camera, and that will be a restart here from Apricope. I, I, I think that's what it looked like, at least.
Find your inner zen. Close.
Now we will see Musketeer now and the board member make his way up to Hush. And it does look like he's yet to grab a smuggled sniper rifle as well. So last time we saw him up here, it looked like he was planning to use a lockdown of sorts to isolate Hush. So it'll be interesting to see if he uses that same strategy or waits until he has the smuggle to get Hush a different way. As he has already passed the timing for Hush in the side office, I think. Now that block guard is causing a bit of trouble here for Musketeer, as Apricote makes his way back up the stairs and onto the rooftop, using a distraction shot from the SMG. Tries to throw an apricot, I think I could be pronouncing that wrong, at the camera, but apricot being acting like a coin does not lock onto the camera. Wait, was that a meaty bone, or?
Tell me your name.
What was that sound? What the hell?
I don't know at this point. This time, we just see Musketeer having a bit of trouble finding out where to isolate Hush at, as Apricope is
Find your
forced to
inner
restart again.
zen. Close your eyes.
But with that whoosh there, that does not look to be the best place to isolate Hush here.
Close your eyes and focus your mind on a
And
on
yeah, at this point, definitely, as Fanian pointed out, it is 10 minutes since it's been on a map like Chongqing at that, so you do want to slow down at this point, because obviously something's not working for either you or your opponent. But at this time, it is understandable to be very anxious, with Chongqing being one of the much faster maps typically. If the spin isn't complete at this point, you have to wonder if your opponent is close at all to finishing. Apricope using the same bullet distraction as we've seen in the past to make his way onto the roof. As for Musketeer, when you see him still struggling to find a good isolation spot for Hush. Or actually, he does already have Hush isolated, that's on me. Does need to grab his briefcase, which I think he has with the sniper inside, but also has to wait in order to make his way up, as that block guard is on bad timing for him. I'm not entirely sure if Hush is safe here, but he will take the chance and gets the kill down with green guns, supposedly. now just needs to change into the researcher disguise, and you do have to be cautious of the fact that that is an open door. I don't think that guard will ever turn his head and look the other way, but
Now go get Imogen Royce and we can get to
we
the
do
door.
we do have an official kill here from both players actually, as Apricope also manages to get the hush kill again and swap into the researcher disguise. Now, Musketeer chooses to change into the block guard to make his passage into the researcher disguise's room a much safer process. Very wise move. And now all that remains for both players is the Imogen kill, which both players have brought in an SMG, so they do need to just activate Drone Lure and wait at the door opening for Imogen to appear. And you also might need to take out the cameras, as we have seen in the past. And we see a boost used with the Apple to take for Apricope to take out the cameras this time. Very good use of the newly legalized boost in roulette. Now this does come at a bit of a bad time for Apricope, as you do have the guard walking the other way. Or fortunately, actually, that is a good time for him,
Quite the bet,
I meant to
apparently.
say.
Nothing wrong
We'll
with
use a blue egg to try and
Oh.
get. Oh no, the blue egg hit Imogen as well as the guard, so now with. Oh no! No! He walked in too soon, but I think it might have gone to red guns anyways, as the bodyguard would have seen Imogen's body despite being tranquilized himself. Oh man, and such a heartbreaking rip for Apricope, being so close to finishing this heck of a spin. But that does open up a very big gap here for Musketeer, who does have the, I see a security guard knocked out, and Imogen heading towards the top of the stairs in the researcher disguise. He will have to wait a bit for Imogen, and I'm not sure if he knows this, what he can do is make his way down to an area behind Imogen's bodyguard as they walk up. Picture, it translates to Musketeer. That was one of the pre-match questions I asked earlier, just to make sure I would get it right. Apricope restarting the drone lure. Now, if you're Apricope, you desperately have to hope that anything goes wrong here for Musketeer, but honestly, and I'm not trying to jinx it, knock on wood, but I'm not sure it will, as long as he can KO the bodyguard without being seen in the process. No, oh man, that is no, both guards there did turn, but he throws the crowbar at her head and has a silenced SMG, so this
Got the
should.
bastard hush. Now go get Imogen Royce and we can get to
And that is a kill for Musketeer. Now all he has to do is make his way towards the exit, and assuming neither of the bodies get found, in the final seconds, he has exited with a time of 16:49, and we do see the rookie Musketeer take his first nap pending a very unlikely 45-second catch-up by Apricope, and our admin of the match, Fruit, has called it, and it will be 2-2, with Santa Fortuna coming up next. And what an exciting turn of events here. I just realized that my mic is insanely loud, so I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Congratulations here to MuIIIKeTeP for taking his first map in his first match as a rookie, as Skylar has pointed out. That is very exciting. Now we do have Santa Fortuna coming up next. And I did ask Apricope earlier today which map he is looking forward to the most as an RNG map, and Santa Fortuna was actually his pick, as he doesn't think he has any wins on the map, and he's hoping for some redemption. Now looking at his stats, he is correct there, with a 0-1 record previously here on Santa Fortuna, but he does have that experience that MuIIIKeTeP just doesn't have at this point. Now MuIIIKeTeP, being a rookie, is kind of nervous with this match, but he is ready to fight for every point that he can get. And we will have the spin arriving in a minute and 18 seconds. That's just enough time for me to start predictions. And yeah. I have started the prediction. So yeah. Now Santa Fortuna is certainly an interesting map. You have three targets in Rico Delgado, Andrea Martinez, and Jorge Franco, with multiple isolations for each of them, multiple different disguise possibilities, multiple kill conditions, and I know some people aren't really a fan of it, but with the newly added Rico Fire Kill, I hope we really get to see a fire kill here. It will be very interesting to see what players come up with for the newly legalized kill.
Duel starts in 10 seconds.
But with the spin arriving in 10 seconds, let's see what we have. Or 10 seconds for the player. The spin is here for us. Will not be Rico Fire nor any target getting set on fire. But the spin will be Kitchen Knife Chef for Rico Delgado, Pistol Barman for Jorge Franco, and Loud SMG Elite Guard for Andrea Martinez. So, certainly an interesting lineup of disguises here. You have one from the caves, one from the mansion or town area, and one that is insanely out of the way of everything. So I'm thinking the best start here might be bar start, as you have immediate access to barman. You don't have to do any long distance walking with leaving your suit immediately there. But we will see what both players choose. Apricope has chosen the mansion staff start, which does provide him closer access to the chef disguise and an immediate Rico isolation opportunity. That's true. If pistol was consumed, that's a good point, bro. We do see Apricope already in the chef's disguise and making his way up towards Rico, using a bullet shot to stall him for a bit there. Do wonder what's in store for his isolation, but we will have to wait just a bit longer as he does restart here using the same start, which most likely means we will see the same strategy attempted. Meanwhile, we do still have MuIIIKeTeP planning, so you do have to wonder what he is cooking up here for the spin. And Apricope uses 2 pistol shots to distract the maids in the room to grab the chef disguise. MuIIIKeTeP starts in front of the mansion villa yeah, mansion, I think, which, and does get clipped by cameras, so he will have to take care of that later on. Now, Apricope has thrown a snail at Rico's head, and is going to lure the mansion security guards into the garage one at a time, or maybe just one of them while he drags Rico's body a bit. Certainly a very risky isolation here, as you do have another mansion guard standing outside the garage. Meanwhile, Musketeer working on the lockdown strategy for Rico, and he does get him isolated.
Rico Delgado has been eliminated.
And Apricope also, in very similar timing, has the kill with the kitchen knife as the chef, with green guns kept as well, so he will now move on to the next target. Musketeer entering the mansion is most likely going to grab a kitchen knife and chef disguise before he leaves Rico to save time and not have to come back later as he heads towards the basement.
Sorry, can...
Now, Apricope uses the snail to take out the two elite guards, as well as taking out the camera with his pistol and dragging the watching civilian into the room. Now, he is clipped by cameras here, so he will have to take care of that later on as well. Meanwhile, Musketeer finally has the chef disguise and will now work his way towards getting the kitchen knife for the Rico kill, it looks like. Now, something very interesting to note, we are just about 5 minutes into the spin, and we can still see the record marker on the timer, which just proves how difficult Santa Fortuna can be sometimes. Now, Apricope is here in the elite guard guys and distracts Andrea as she's walking out, throws a wrench at her head, but oh no!
The Delgado cartel PR officer and
Oh no, that is not good for Apricope. Let's see if he can recover here before the guard walks into the room. And he gets the loud SMG kill and dumps her out of the window. And barely escapes before being spotted by the guard. That was definitely a nail biter of a kill. Just waiting to see if he was going to be able to get that kill down, but oh no, as he shoots the cameras, he is spotted through the wall, it looked like, and that will be a restart here from Apricope, with Musketeer having restarted at a very similar time. That was a very unfortunate rip on Apricope's side. Definitely one of the more unlogical ones that I have seen, as we do see Musketeer also attempting the Rico lockdown isolation once again, and Apricope using the same mansion staff start strategy with the pistol distraction for the maids to change into the chef disguise just like so.
Did you hear Javier stole the love letter Hector Delgado wrote for Martinez? Have to jump out of...
And Apricope just goes for the kill there, which doesn't work, but no, and it doesn't look like the lockdown worked for Musketeer either, so we will see almost simultaneous restarts with approaching the 10-minute mark into the spin. Now the Rico kill seems to definitely be the easiest kill of the spin,
the love letter
as we
Hector
have seen
Delgado
both
wrote for
players get
Martinez?
it down at least once, I think.
To jump out of a window for Hector
But after that, it really does become a puzzle, with the Elite Guard and Loud SMG, and also
Rico Delgado
the
has been
Barman. That is
eliminated.
two
Nicely done.
very distant disguises from each other, unless you get the Elite Guard that sits at the bar, of course.
Claro.
And now we do
Thank
see
you. That's not right.
Rico killed on Apricope's side, but he gets spotted dragging the body. Very unfortunate rip there, and we once again see simultaneous loading screens.
See, it's a dirty job, but somebody's gotta do it, huh? Had to visit 6 bars.
You need to be extra careful around the family.
Ay, Dios mío. Por favor, someone help
With both
me.
players on very similar timings into their runs, both seem to be keeping the
Did you
same
hear Javier
strategy. I
stole the
wonder
love
if
letter Hector
Apricope
Delgado
decides
wrote for
to go
Martinez?
for the kill again here, or
To jump
just
out of a window for
knock him
Hector
out
Delgado.
as he had done in the past.
I think he heard it like
And he
far.
does go for the kill,
Sometimes they like to rock the place in the bar.
and will need to distract the guard as he does eventually walk into the room here.
Yep.
He can even
But
send her village
I almost wonder if it'd be easier to walk through the room first before and drag the body in before KOing the guard, but I'm not sure if you would have enough time there. Meanwhile, we do see Musketeer getting the isolation on Rico successfully once again, and Apricope getting the kill at the same time. And this does appear to be a good run from both players so far. And I want to mention again that Musketeer is just doing really good as a rookie. Definitely knows some of the strategies needed to know for roulette. Knows some of the map layouts, at least the ones we've seen him play,
Oh,
very well. And it has been a very good showing here from the rookie. Now, this time Apricope is spotted dragging the body, so that will be another restart on his end. As we see Musketeer working on getting the chef into the room as well. He will get the chef in there and knocked out,
See, it's a dirty job, but somebody's gotta
followed
do it, huh?
by a boxing of
Had
the
to
body
visit
just to be
6
safe.
bars.
you need to be extra careful around the family.
And we have passed the 10-minute mark into the
Whoa,
spin, which
what the
means
hell? Help!
any
Help!
finishes here on out will have a 45-second photo finish window for the players.
Did you hear Javier stole the love letter Hector Delgado wrote for Martinez?
Had to jump out of a window for Hector
And
Delgado.
Apricope once again gets kill here for Rico.
Sometimes they like to rock the place in the bar.
And once again uses the throw distraction to bring the guard into the room
He can even send to be in her village
and goes to drag Rico.
Rico
On the other side
Delgado
of the screen, we do see Musketeer also get the Rico kill once again. So now you wonder where he will be headed, as honestly I do not remember, but he does appear to be heading into the caves through the secret tunnel, which means he's most likely looking for an elite guard disguise next. Now, if Apricope's previous runs are anything to go off of, we also know that he is heading towards the elite guards that stand right outside the cave entrance. But he is using a bit of a different take on an elite guard disguise this time, as he throws a can into the bushes to get the elite guard to walk around for a much safer disguise grab this time, with him being concealed by the bushes as he changes. Meanwhile, Musketeer is in the room with the elite guards, which does happen to also be the basement of the bar, I believe. So he is very close to both disguises that he needs for the remainder of the spin. Apricope does get clipped by the cameras once again, and goes to KO Andrea as well as her assistant. We'll definitely need to hide the assistant's body with it being a loud kill, which he does plan to do by dragging her into the garbage bin. Musketeer also has the elite guard disguise now, and is right there at the barman, so you gotta wonder if he goes for the barman grab at this point as well, or waits until he gets done with the other kill. Apricope also takes care of the cameras while he's there before activating the loud kill this time. Gets the kill off,
Martinez
dumps her body,
Good work.
and will use the table as cover to make his way out, which he successfully does. And that's Andrea down with green guns for Apricope now. All that remains is the Jorge Franco kill with the barman disguise. And speaking of, it does look like Musketeer has gotten the barman isolated for a free disguise grab as well as he heads towards Andrea. Now this will cause quite a bit of a run for Musketeer, but definitely an easier grab as the barman is already dumped into a garbage bin.
Lady, I'm trying to make a phone call here. Buzz off, will ya?
Now we do see Apricope here looking to knock out the barman, which he does, and drag to the dumpster. Now there is a wandering NPC around that area that will sometimes see it, but that is not the case this time, as Apricope now has the correct disguise for the last kill out of the way as well. And we do see Musketeer now knocking out the guard outside of the room, as to supposedly create an easier SMG kill opportunity here. But I wonder what he ends up going for. Now, Apricope makes his way into the mansion once again to take the quick route to Jorge's cocoa fields,
Franco's something over there that we're missing. I mean, I keep seeing him skating around.
using path filled with greenery to get over there. Now for Jorge Franco, the typical isolation is just a seeker dart to the back of his neck, but that can occasionally vary. Now, with this spin being a silenced pistol at that, I'm not sure that it will be one of those varied occasions here. Musketeer still looking for a good place to isolate Andrea. Normally you would have her in the downstairs room by the 2-minute 30-second mark, but he does appear to be waiting as she is almost in the room where he needs her to be at. And this Apricope appeared to miss the first secret art, does get the second one, so now we just wait for Jorge to walk to the right place. But in the meantime, Apricope does look to be grabbing a separate disguise for exit point. And Pidgeira has said GG's in the chat, which means that something will most definitely go wrong in the next minute or so. Don't ask how I know. It's just logic. But he gets the kill down.
This should paralyze the cartel. Excellent work, 47.
Very good save there. And he was very close to getting a big whoosh on his exit, but Apricope has finished with a time of 17:03, beating the Pidgeijinx. Not sure I've ever seen Pidgeira's Jinx get beat before. But that will be a 4-2 lead here for Apricope, with the next
4,
map being
2 to
Sapienza.
4.
Alright, now Sapienza is coming up as the second RMG map of this match. Apricope has been here for a total of 2 times, winning both of them. So on this point, Apricope not only has the experience, but also has the victories here to prove it. So we will see if Apricope does take the win here, with him being on match point. Musketeer, on the other hand, as a rookie, has not been here yet, so this will be his first appearance on Sapienza. And we have the spin arriving in just under a minute. Now, what do you guys want to see in the Sapienza spin? Seen a lot of street performer lately. Seen a few different disguises that I can't remember at this time.
Agent, get ready.
I feel like a
Duel starts
biohazard
in 10 seconds.
might make for an interesting
9,
spin. Biohazard disguise or whatever
7,
it's called.
6, 5,
But the spin is
4,
here. We will
3,
see Biolab
2,
Security,
1.
Silent Shotgun for
Eliminate
Silvio
target.
Caruso, and Folding Knife as the mansion staff for Francesca DeSantis. Quite an interesting spin, as you do have to head down a bit in order to get the right disguise for Silvio. But other than that, just seems to be your typical Sapienza spin. I'm not entirely sure where the folding knife would be at, but that might be the most difficult part of the spin if you are unable to bring it in, which I don't think it's an option to be brought in, but it might be. Now we do have Apricope starting as
Ether Field Lab. You made it.
the researcher,
Prototype will be close by. Look for some type of quarantine unit.
which does give him very close access to the biolab security, as well as giving him immediate access to the virus. Now this could be interesting, as it might potentially lead to a virus lure for Francesca DeSantis if activated before she dies. But it does look like he is just going to place the EMP security device in place here, as well as taking out the cameras, but can't seem to get a good angle. But he does eventually get it, and will climb up the pipe, or make his way out of the caves after securing the right disguise.
I'll look into it.
Now that is a very long whoosh there from Apricope, and I can't lie, I thought he was going to have to restart there, but he doesn't. He is able to make his way out. Doesn't actually grab the Biolab security disguise though, which is interesting. Musketeer, on the other side of the screen, still taking a bit of time to plan here. Might not know where a few things, or might not know where the folding knife is. I mean, we'll be interested to see what he decides to go with ultimately.
Doctor.
Apricope now making his way through the kitchen, but does get spotted, and that will be a replan here from Apricope, but doesn't replan anything, just restarts.
Ether's field lab. You made it. The virus prototype will be close by. Look for some type of quarantine unit.
Musketeer appears to be getting closer to loading in, picking out his silent shotgun as well as the rest of his loadout, and by the looks of things, is loading into the main square
Ether's
start,
field
I
lab.
believe.
You made it. The virus prototype will be close by.
And yes, that will
Look
be
for
a
some
main
type of
square start.
quarantine unit.
Apricope still going with the researcher disguise start. Does get spotted by the researcher this time. I think what's happened is he gets changed his camera shot to being before he actually knocks out the
Ether's field
researcher
lab.
on the roof,
You
which
made
does
it. The virus
unfortunately
prototype will
cause
be
the
close by.
researcher's attention
Look
to
for
be
some type of
grabbed
quarantine unit.
and will most likely rip him every time, unless he is able to stop the
I'm in trouble. I need help now.
researcher. Decides to panic him instead.
Hey, I need some help here.
But nonetheless, he will get the
Someone's really
EMP
ripping it up
placed
here.
in position
I'll take care of it.
for making his way back out of the caves. It looks like another very big whoosh there from
Come in, Command.
Apricope,
Copy.
and oh my god, so close. That is very risky, very long
Let me take care of
whoosh, and here it goes again. And he does escape.
Looking good today, Doctor.
But this time does grab the biolab security disguise. Musketeer making his way, looks to be trying to find his way into the apartments area. Uses thrown distraction to, or no, uses a lockpick, but does get spotted using the lockpick. Now Apricope in the biolab security disguise
Ah, good. This means the poison's working.
heads into the basement of the observatory area, it looks like, to grab the mansion staff disguise, and shuffles the disguise once just before heading down. And there's a folding knife in that area. I did not know that, but very good to know for future matches. Apricope does grab the folding knife on the table of the customer and makes his way back up using the mansion staff disguise.
Staff is clear, sir.
Is going to go for Francesca DeSantis first while she is in her office, supposedly. Uses a bullet distraction there to supposedly stall her as well. And now Musketeer also has a folding knife. Is still in the street, so he will need to grab the mansion staff disguise. But he does appear to be making his way back towards the mansion, so that shouldn't be a problem much longer.
That is Francesca DeSantis.
Now, Apricope does get the kill down for Francesca and boxes her body in the mansion staff.
Silvio
And with
Cruz.
the EMP already in place, he can go ahead and detonate that as well if he wants to, or he could wait. Which he does do,
Virus destroyed.
which
One
leaves just
target
Silvio
remaining.
for Apricope. A musketeer is making his way down the ledge, or up the ledge actually. Does look to be going for the mansion staff disguise,
How are you, sir?
which he does get in the right area for it, and is able to find very easily. Now, with Silvio still in place, Apricope shoots the box on the roof, but does crowbar open the door. I'm not sure
That
if that will
is
cause a
Silvio
distraction,
Caruso.
but it doesn't appear to. And he gets the thrown item down, but left his silent shotgun somewhere. Does so Silvio will start to run, but he gets the kill, and that's all 3
Entering the Ether
tasks
Lab
done
requires
for
a key
Apricope
card and a
as he
uniform.
makes his way to an exit.
It seems both are within
A
reach.
musketeer, it does get
All
the
objectives complete.
trank
Now head towards an exit.
for the other security guard. Almost shoots the wrong person with the wrong disguise, but doesn't. But Apricope has finished with a time of 9 minutes and 9 seconds. And that will be a 6-2 victory here for Apricope. GG's from both players. Very well played match. Musketeer definitely
Score two,
showed up and
6.
played very well for a rookie. And Apricope, as a returning rival, has secured another win in Roulette Rivals 14 as well. So, where does that leave both players? Who will they play next? Let's find out by heading to the brackets. So here on the brackets, let me open up this. Where are we at? There we are. Apricope has won by a score of 6-2, which means he will go on to face Frode7 in round 3 of the winners bracket. So that will be a very interesting match to look forward to. As for Musketeer, he is not out of this tournament yet. It is match 27. So Musketeer will drop to the losers bracket round 2, I believe, where he will face Deadly Muffin Man, another exciting rookie here in this tournament. So that will also be such a great match to watch when it does happen, as both of them have played really well for rookies in this tournament so far. And that, with the other match having concluded earlier today, that is the last match for today, but we do have a list of upcoming matches right here. The next match will be happening in 12 hours, that is Infrafund versus Big Machete 13, followed by Peter Dutton MP versus Volcat in 14 hours, McKeelers versus Falcon in 15 hours, TK47 Loot.png, and Crescent 7 and Currymaker both happening in 19 hours for a doubleheader. That Crescent Currymaker match will be cast by myself and Gorg. Vetreby versus Skylar happening in 20 hours, and Music Inc. versus the Reaper 47 happening on Sunday. It's a very exciting day of roulette matches happening tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. Well played for both players, and a very big shout out to Frodo7 for being our admin of this match. So yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'm not going to forget to pay out predictions this time before I end the stream. Here we go. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one.